We're now joined by forward Judd Caulfield joining us on the show. Judd, welcome back to San Diego with the signing of another contract with the club, and also how's the offseason been?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Cooney. Obviously, pumped to be back in San Diego. It's just unbelievable the last 2 years. Great community, great group of guys, and great coaching staff. So I'm pumped to be back. And yeah, the off season's been going well. Just been back home in Grand Forks, spent a lot of time with family and preparing for the wedding, and obviously training, getting ready for the next season.
I know I hit you right before that, so the wedding's coming up here pretty soon. Are you? Are the nerves hitting you? Is the excitement hitting you? How's the family feeling? How's everybody feeling?
Yeah, definitely excited and a little bit of nerves too. I guess nerves haven't kicked in too much either day. I'll be shaking a little bit, but yeah, I'm just so excited for the wedding. It's going to be an amazing day.
You got any travel or anything planned after that? Get the honeymoon in before you got to get back to San Diego and wrap up the training.
Yeah, we're gonna head down to Aruba for a few nights and spend some time down there. Just enjoy a little honeymoon, get away and relax a bit, and then obviously get back to the train and when get back into town and just gear up for a great season down in San Diego.
And I know you mentioned it a little bit just about the community in San Diego itself, but man, what's your entire professional career has been with the organization. So how does that feel to put pen to paper and come back here and know that you're going to be in the same place for another season?
Yeah, I'm just pumped up to be back. It's been great the last 2 seasons. I know obviously we haven't had the success we wanted, and it's definitely something we're going to have a focus on this season is making the playoffs and making a run once we get there. But it starts right away, just coming into the season, getting some wins right away, and not kind of having a slow start like we've had the past few seasons. And yeah, just so excited to be back. Obviously, great guys back in the locker room, so it's going to be extremely fun season, and hopefully we'll find some success.
When you go into last year, knowing it's a contract year, is there a different mindset that you're kind of getting set for, knowing you're kind of playing for what you ultimately signed was another contract with San Diego?
Yeah, it was my first time going into a contract year, so it was definitely a mix of emotions. I wasn't really sure what to think. It's nerve-wracking, obviously, because you're kind of competing for a job, but you can try to take it day by day and just do what you can do and play your best, and hopefully, uh, staff notices that.
So, well, after 2 seasons with San Diego and 2 years pro, what are your biggest takeaways, especially from last year, your second full season in the professional leagues?
Yeah, I think just consistency is the main thing. It's a long season, 72 games, and I've personally have had slumps kind of throughout the last 2 seasons that have kind of set myself back personally, and also the team. We've had a few slumps that kind of knock us out of the playoff runs when we get on those long losing streaks. So I think the main thing going in this season is just focusing on that consistency, bringing it every night, and you can't take a night off in November because it may seem meaningless at the time, but it comes when it comes down to the wire in April and you're down 2 points on another team, you really look back on those nights and wish you could have pulled out a win.
How would you say you've improved? I guess in your time, the first 2 years in professional hockey, as you go into now a third season.
Yeah, I think I was a little more physical this past year, and that's something I'm definitely gonna have to look forward to building on this year. Is having more of a impact in that style of the game because I'm a bigger body, so I got to use that to my advantage and just kind of impose my will on the other players and wear teams down. Yeah, like I said, just be physical, make the other team not want to be there. So that's got to be my role going in this year, and just got to focus on that more.
That said, I know you last we chatted last year too with that interview, and I mean you've got all sorts of fitness records that go along with it. With playing more physical, has that been kind of an approach this off season in terms of your training, getting bigger, more physical? Or is there anything else that you've kind of worked on in the off season as you get prepared for this year?
Yeah, definitely just staying strong and physical and focusing on endurance a lot too. Just so, I mean, a bigger guy, I tend to lose my energy pretty quick when I'm going in bursts. So just finding ways to increase my endurance capacity so I can bring it for 72 games in the season, all 3 periods. And that's kind of been the main focus this summer is just building that base. And yeah, so the next year it's ready to go every game.
We talked a little before we started the interview, just like the momentum and I guess the game, everything kind of gelled together second half of the season. Maybe a little too late for where we're kind of out in the standings, but Knowing what you guys can accomplish, how do you carry that into the start of the season? And can you carry that momentum that you kind of built towards the end of last year?
Yeah, it's definitely a morale boost for us knowing that we have the capability of doing it. It's just we know it's not going to come easy. Teams aren't just going to be like, "Oh, just give these guys a win." We're going to have to go out there compete, and it starts right away with our training camps. We got to go in. Everyone's got to be ready to go by the first whistle in training camp. You can't come into it slacking there because it's going to carry over into the first games. And like we talked about, those first games are so crucial for us this year.
I'm sure you've been keeping track of the free agent movement around the league, and same for San Diego, and a couple big signings that have come through. And I think one of them was one of those guys that was a big boost part of that second half with Justin Bailey coming back for another season. What did he add to this team last year after that trade, and what does it mean to have him back for a full season as you look to continue what you guys kind of did there that second half?
Yeah, I'm pumped to have him back, and I'm sure everyone else is too. He's on the ice, he just brings that speed. Obviously, like you guys and the fans can all see it. He just flies around the ice and he brings compete level. He's chirping out there and stuff. He just loves the game. He's into it. And in the locker room too, he's a great guy. He's cracking jokes. Everyone loves him. And yeah, so he's fun to be around, and he's just a great player on the ice too. So having him back is going to be a great addition for the team for the whole season.
The couple others, Nick Briard and Matthew Phillips. Yeah, I think you played with Nick for maybe a couple of games when you first came to San Diego towards the end of that 23 season. Um, I'll start with Nick Briard. Do you remember him playing against him again in Coachella Valley? Like, what do you remember of this guy, and what do you think you're going to get out of him, and he can add to this team?
Yeah, I just met him for a few weeks there at the end of my first season, and yeah, he seemed like a great guy. And obviously on the ice, he's very skilled too. He's playing against him in Coachella. He's got the grit to his game too. He's a competitor, and yeah, it's gonna be fun to have him on the blue line for us. He's gonna add a lot for our team.
And Matthew Phillips. I mean, we've seen Gulls fans remember him even just as in his Calgary, Stockton kind of days as well. And last year's with Colorado with the Eagles. What do you remember about him, and what can he add to this group that may not have been there in the past?
Yeah, he's an extremely high end player. So having him just adding to the point total and things like that, it's going to be unbelievable for us. It'll probably be a power play guy. We need guys like that that can find those seams and just have production on the power play, so we can have consistent power play throughout the year. Because even last year, that was another thing where it was kind of up and down throughout the year. We go in spurts where power play is great, and then others where it get a little cold. And just having that boost of maybe an extra goal a game on the power play or half the goal a game, that's it's gonna be huge for us. So we're excited to have on the team.
For you, I mean, coming back for a third season, and I guess in some of that other core that's been with San Diego the last couple of years, when you see signings like this, and even though you're getting back Roland McEwen and Ryan Carpenter, does this kind of build a little more excitement in the summer and heading into next year, knowing we're getting some? I mean, it's kind of like getting some hired guns that are going to be added to the offense and to this group as you look to accomplish what you want to get done next year.
Yeah, we're all just so excited for the next season because we know we can bring, like we said, like the past year, like we had spurts where we were a great hockey team, and the coming of this next year, we got a lot of big guns back, and our younger groups getting older now. So a lot of us going to our second, third seasons. So we have the capacity to kind of work throughout the whole year and just yeah, find a way to start off hot and keep her going.
What kind of message does that send to? I mean, talk about the locker room side, but to Gulls fans, what do you kind of says, or what would you kind of say that hey, we have these couple pieces, we have this core that's been in pro hockey now, going into their third years. Like, no, everybody kind of knows what to expect, but what could you tell Gulls fans to kind of look for next season compared to the previous 2 years?
Yeah, we're here to win this year. It's going to be a very competitive group. We're going to be physical, high skill, and we're just going to play as a team. We have great chemistry in the locker room with the guys we had. I know a lot of good guys coming into the group, so it's going to be a tight knit group playing for each other and just going out there to compete and win.
You mentioned some of that, right from the drop of the puck in October when things get started. Um, what goes into that mindset, knowing that we've seen some slow starts the last couple seasons, um, but to avoid that, how do you just kind of jump into that? I don't know. I guess a kind of playoff mindset right at the beginning, and kind of build yourself some cushion. I guess in the standings, aside from chasing from the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean you can make excuses all day long, but I mean we've had some younger, more inexperienced groups in the past. And I mean, I feel like now we have our footing in the league now. We know what to expect. We have a lot of guys coming back, so I think that'll just be the message: is we can't just expect to win. Well, you got to expect to win, but you can't just expect to have it handed over to you. You gotta work for it, and you got to go out there and put in the effort, be physical, and yeah, go out there and play as a group.
Well, Judd, it's what we got 2 months until training camp. I know you got the wedding, some other things coming up here. What's next for Judd Caulfield after that? How do you prepare and get set for what's going to be year three in San Diego with the Gulls?
Yeah, just really dial it in the weight room and on the ice. Just focus on just finishing touches and yeah, being physical, getting big in the gym, and just getting the endurance ready for the season because it's going to be a long season, and we expect to play a lot longer this next year into May or in June. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, looking forward to see you back in San Diego in a Gulls jersey, Judd. Appreciate it, and hey, good luck with the wedding and everything. I'm sure it's going to be a great day and for you and your family and everybody. So enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks, Cooney. I appreciate it.